about that call in last night's video, huh? Flags are flying. Caution flags are flying. Did you see what happened today and what should happen on Wednesday? Well, we'll see when we do the chart segment. Caution flags were flying. That was a great call, right? For sure. I mean, so far so good. The Omni's so good at making calls. In fact, with that in mind, a lot of stuff on the board. But most important is this, OmniCamp is coming up very soon, like about a month from now, right? Sometime next month. Make sure if you want to come out and learn the Omni from me, that is Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator. I will teach that to you here in a 5-night, 4-day session held here in my home office. That is no joke. And I'll tell you right now, people, if you've got something to pass on to other traders that doesn't work, you know what you don't do? You don't meet them in your home where your wife and children live for 5 days. That's what you don't do. You meet them in a city somewhere else, right? You rent a room, you go somewhere else, you show them some crappy software, they fly home, you fly home, and you never see each other again. I'm inviting you to my home office to teach this to you. If that sounds appetizing, this is your moment. Time is ticking. Call me, 702-629-4755, or certainly go to omnibootcamp.com, fill out an application, and set a time to speak to me. I'll qualify you for a seat. Time is ticking. The seats are absolutely going, so hurry up and call me, all right? Let's move on with the show. In fact, you know what? Before that, a little bit of proof. Why not? I just watched this myself, haven't seen it in a while. Watch this quick clip. I promise you will like what you see, and then we'll get to what's on the board. Humor me for a moment. Take a look at this clip.
When I became an Omniac about 2 years ago, my trading had gotten better. And my bank accounts have gotten better by thousands. Whereas where I was trading before, I was flat to down every year.
It took me a long way to come here from Switzerland. But I think it was one of my best decisions to come here.
He has developed a way to analyze the markets in a way that I've never seen. And this is important because I've been trading since 1995. And what he showed me, I'd never seen before.
And if you follow the structure that Oscar has created step by step and don't deviate, you will make the money you're looking for.
Traders, did you see that? I promise you will be saying the exact same things if you come out to this OmniCamp in March. Make sure you give me a call. So, what is on the board? Well, the first thing we're going to talk about, as we always do, is risk. There's risk involved in this game. Trading crypto, trading options, trading futures, trading stocks. Risk, risk, risk. What will you do about that? You know what to do, right? You guys have answered 97% correctly. What do you do about that? Put your stops in first, then get into a position that will help you survive in this business, right? Keep the risk mitigated, put your stops in first. What's going on out there? Video number 2710 being filmed on a Tuesday night for trading Wednesday, Feb 21st, 2024. So what's on the board? Well, in last night's video, that bow that we discussed there, that great call when I came out, well, that was about me showing you a video last night. President's Day, markets were closed, did homework over the weekend, found some caution flags and said, ooh, better tell my Omniacs, we're getting caution flags out there especially from the Dow Jones Transportation Average. Now, you cannot live by this code because it doesn't happen on a daily basis, but every now and then there's a setup where the leader becomes the Dow Jones Transportation Average. That has happened from Friday to Monday. I recognized it, told you about that video, and down the market went, right? So far, so good, because the transportation average is leading down at the moment. With that transportation average, I also had this thing called the Omni cycle, right? I call it my harebrained Omni cycle work. So if you've been following me long enough, you know I am a master at seeing cycles develop and then using them to move forward. I recognized the cycle, 10, 12 days ago, told my Omniacs, look, I've got a chart set up. The cycle should begin here. If it does, wow, I think we found a new cycle we could use moving forward. Well, that cycle is on the Dow Jones Transportation Average, and I want you to see that. Do you know why? Because after this chart segment, or even during it, I want you to answer another question. You've been killing it with the questions. I am loving the participation. And I will say, since 2006, when I started doing these YouTube videos, you fans, you Omniacs, you traders out there have gotten much better. I hope it's my videos doing that for you, because you're answering the questions properly as a group. And I'm talking large percentages of you are answering the proper answers to my questions. And I'm a very good analyst, so I know if you're getting them right or wrong. And you have been getting them right. 94 to 97% of you. Congratulations. Keep paying attention. I hope these videos are helping you. There will be another question in tonight's video, and it'll be a simple A or B answer. Will it hold? Will it go lower? You're not allowed to answer until you've seen the charts that coincide with what's on the board. So, back to the leader. Transportation average starting to lead ES, NASDAQ, Russell lower. Don't know how long it will last, but I can tell you this. Number 2 on the board, Treasury bonds, T-bonds, crude oil. They both agree with the transportation average taking a bit of a breather here, or a downward correction, if you will. Don't know how long it'll last yet. We're traders, day traders. We take it one day at a time, but this is happening. And crude oil going up and T-bonds going down, which raises interest rates, is not conducive to the market making new highs at the moment, right? S&P was just about up there, but these two things wouldn't help. We've got a red Omni. Transportation average is leading the other way. Maybe a breather is coming, or maybe it holds right here and goes straight back up. The chart segment will let us know if that's A or B, hold or go lower. So, the leader is leading, treasuries and crude oil agrees. Will my harebrained Omni cycle work out on the transportation average? We'll find out. And then there's this, Bitcoin traders. We love Bitcoin. In my last video, or a few videos back actually, I said traders, Bitcoin has given us these great signals and it's gone all the way up. Well, now I'm getting a signal that Bitcoin will be taking a breather. And I showed you a chart and I put the word breather there. And I said, I think that's what's going to happen next. And I'll tell you right now, man, no one can call a chart like Oscar. You really need to come out to OmniCamp and learn this. You will see in the charts, it's exactly what Bitcoin has done since the day I mentioned it would take a breather. At the same time, the Omni said, transportation average is leading and down we're going to start to go. And from the moment that started, right before it started, the Omni told us about it. That's powerful, kids. Make sure you want to come out and learn this. So I'm going to now show you some charts that will depict everything on here. And then you can tell me whether you are choosing A or B, if these markets are going to hold or not hold. So thank you for watching that quick compilation of some of the traders that have been out to my camp. I promise you, if you come out for this March camp, you got to hurry for that. You will love what you see, so keep that in mind. Keep all of this in mind, because what we're going to do now is go look at a fantastic chart segment that will help you hopefully make money in the next day and a half moving forward. So, before we do that, we must remember to keep our emotions out of trading. How do we do that? Well, first thing is, you guys already know this, right? Put your stops in first. Then get into the position, long or short. Stop goes in first. Then you get into the position. That helps keep emotions at bay right off the bat. Why? Because you already know how much you're going to lose if wrong. The second thing you do, instead of once you place those orders and you get filled and it gets close and you start panicking and typing on the keyboard and changing stops and buying more and averaging and destroying the trade, don't do that. Instead, say this to yourselves over and over again and don't touch the keyboards. By now, you should know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll traders, that you're getting so much better at analysis now. Let's go look at some charts. Traders, the Dow Jones Transportation Average Daily Bar, the same chart that was in the video last night. And we mentioned, another do or die moment. Let's let the market tell us what it's going to do next, as the transportation average seems to be taking the lead lately over NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, and the gamut. Again, it doesn't happen every day, so you can't live by that code, but it's happening now. Do or die moment, what will happen? Well, that was in last night's video, and this, sadly to clap for, is what happened. Another do or die moment gone bad. Look at that. So you did break through, and take a look back. Not customary, not customary, not customary, not customary. Uh-oh when you do, right? So that's not the best thing I've ever seen, but let's take another look. Now we're going to go to that crazy cycle that I have told my Omniacs about for quite some time. And I said, Omniacs, get ready. I think I have found the cycle. And I put the O here to begin the cycle. And I said, we're going to call it the Omni cycle. I put the M here and said, if it's going to begin, it starts here. And look what it did. So let's take it to present day. We were at a do or die moment last night. We're here. The Omni cycle seems to be working, whatever that means. And this is what happened. You came down through the trend line. You broke underneath this average, which doesn't happen, right? We know that. And you did the die, not the do. So it is starting to head towards the end. We got O, M. Now we're heading towards the end. Now, I'll be honest, we don't know exactly where the N belongs. It's just floating in space out here right now. But if you ask me, it's going to tell me exactly where the N belongs, and then we'll head up or down for the I. We'll find that out one day at a time. But I will tell you, this is an absolute cycle. I am a master at spotting cycles and then figuring out how us Omniacs could use them moving forward. I have spotted this. I have checked it. I finally allowed my Omniacs to hear about it. And so far, it's working. Let me take you back a little on that cycle. Here's what happened. I said to my Omniacs, if I'm right, we're going to get a cycle that's going to start right here. Phase 1 started already on this day. And if I'm counting correctly, it will begin the new drop here. And that's what I kind of left out there for my Omniacs. And I said, we're going to put the N and the I out and float in space and just leave it there. Let it float in space a little bit. But we know this belongs and we know the M belongs. Let's see what gives. And look at what happened. This is insanity. Look what it did. Right on that day. Is that not sick? Right on the day and at the spot the cycle was supposed to start, it went poof. And I went, oh my God, did that actually happen? And it got to the average. So that happened. And now we are looking like this. Look where we are now. Boom, boom. So O hit, M hit. We're on our way to R, to N, and then maybe I. Let's see what happens. Now, with this information so far, is this cycle going to work, do you think? Or we're going to hold and get back up in here above the line and take off? A, if you think we'll hold. B, if you think we're going to crack further. It's not customary to break lower, by the way. As you can see, all of this shows us that we're just going to keep moving higher. Right? That's what it normally does. It's not really supposed to break down here, but from what I'm showing you, tell me what you think, A or B. There's more proof. Let's look around. So now we're looking at the E-mini S&P. And I showed you this chart in last night's video and said, look at this wonderful hold. Look at this wonderful hold. Look at this wonderful hold. Another test. Here we are. Well, now I want your answer, A or B. I'm going to wait just a moment. I will allow you to answer. Will that get right back up there as it always does and hold? Because we're in a bull market and it should. That's right. What should happen? So we don't know what's ever going to happen. But you're supposed to have a mentality that what should happen in a bull market is when you hit support, it stops going down. It's a bull market, right? It's what's supposed to happen. So what do you think will happen here? Will it hold, or this time will it crack? If you don't mind, leave your comments below. Look at the NASDAQ now, more of the same theme. Now, I've shown you this chart. The last time we had this situation, I said, look, NASDAQ only makes 2 red days in a row, and then it heads back up to a green. You can go and look here, 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 here. One time, okay, more than 2 red days. Here, here, here. One time, more than 2 red days. You can go all the way back to October of 2023, and what you almost always get is only 2 red bars strung together, never more than 2. What will happen? Let's take another look at this very same chart. Well, if we throw a little geometry on the chart, what we'll notice is that it's testing a trend line as well. Will this be one of these, or will it stay to the 2 factor? You need to let me know what you think. A or B. A, it'll hold, and B, it will crack. You tell me what you think about that. Make sure that you answer below. Now, what would make the stock market, which was just about ready to make new highs in the S&P and it was looking wonderful, why would it come down? Well, if we want to look at some fundamentals, which also include technical, it would be the chart of UST bonds. When it's going up, it's good for futures. When it's going down, it's bad for futures. When it's going up, it's good for futures. When it's going down, it's bad. Now, just like the transportation average being the leader, this is not every day, and you can't look at it as if bonds are going down, stock market goes up. That's not the case. But when you start getting a certain type of behavior and you start going from up here to down here to down here, what you're getting is, this is why. Pretend that this is a seesaw or a teeter-totter out in a little playground. You've got bonds on one side and interest rates on the other. If bond futures go down, automatically, inherently, interest rates go up. That's no Jerome Powell's needed, no Fed is needed, no word is needed from the government. If traders are selling bonds and futures are dropping, it makes interest rates go up, and that puts pressure on the stock market. So, two fundamentals which also have, of course, technicals with them is bonds and crude. What else is going on? Well, when the price of crude was at 68, that was pretty darn good, but it has gone from 68 to 78 plus, right? 68.57 to 78.56. So you're just about 1,000 points higher, and upward trajectory of T-bonds plus crude oil is leaning on stocks. You know what I mean? Crude's moved up a bit, and it looks like now it's trying to challenge this resistance area. And if it does, and gets above, that's not going to help the stock market either. So maybe this is indicating that a pullback is necessary, is warranted, and healthy for the markets. The transportation average for us day traders seems to think so for trading on Wednesday. And then we move out to Bitcoin. Crypto traders, we love Bitcoin. Now, a few days back, I put this very chart in front of your eyes and I said, a small breather in Bitcoin is coming. That's the signal I've received. We should get a small breather in Bitcoin. That was a few days ago. Now, Bitcoin, I've given you guys the signal since here. I said it broke out of my flag. It's above my average. We absolutely love it now. The signal is in right here. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. Right when we get to this high, I come out with a video and say, okay, a small breather is about to take place. What has happened since? A small breather takes place. How sick is that? How good is the Omni? How fast do you want to go to OmniBootCamp.com and fill out an application? I will teach you how to be a very, very good analyst. Make sure you fill out your applications. Look what happened. From that exact high, you went lower. You couldn't go any higher. You did nothing more than take a breather. Just as the Omni said we would do. That, my friends, you cannot get better advice from a chart than that. Viva la Omni! Omniacs, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you join me at livewithoscar.com. And again, go fill out your OmniCamp applications at OmniBootCamp.com now so I can get you in for the March camp.